It's a beautiful day to make a vlog. What's up everyone? My name is Adin. I'm one half of Hustlin' Hooks. In today's video, primarily we're going to talk about all of the ways to increase your sales. First of all, I wanted to apologize because none of this stuff is new. So if you've been doing eBay for a while and you've been making great sales and making a consistent living off of it, just go ahead and stop watching this video. For everyone else that's new, that's struggling, that needs some help getting consistent sales and getting some money back from all the time and energy that they've spent and invested in their business, this video is for you. And the best part is it's 100% free. So you can just watch the video, take notes, and actually take action. One of the things about reselling is that it's not a spectator sport. It requires you to put in the work so that you can make money. That's the whole idea, right? If you're doing this as a hobby just to make some extra money, I think it's a fantastic way to make some money on the side. If you're trying to grow it from a side hustle into a, hey, this is how I make my living, also great. It's really, honestly, I think the best way to make money reselling on eBay is to do it out of your house with the least amount of overhead and to do it in categories that are just higher asking price, like electronics, vintage stuff that you find that's rare, that you can find for 5, 10, 15 bucks and flip for 100, 150. That's the best method. But regardless of the method and regardless of your experience level, these tactics have been the same for a long time. So let's just go ahead and start. The first method or the first tip is to understand cash flow. So how much money are you putting into your business and how much money you're taking out of your business and how much money is stuck in your business. If you have a larger store, if you've been doing this for a while, and let's say you have 1,000 listings, that means unless you got it all for free, which is very unlikely, that means that you have money into the business that's sitting stale. So let's just say that for easy math, all of your items cost $5 per item. So let's say you paid $5 a piece, or maybe you average $5 per item. That means that you have $5,000 of inventory that's sitting there. Now imagine if you had a loan, a credit card loan that charges you, let's say 10% interest per month if you're not paying it in full. You would be very eager to pay off that debt as fast as possible so that you can avoid paying interest, right? However, most of the time, most people do this in cash and there is no interest and there is no credit. So a lot of people, like ourselves, get a bit lazy on items that have been sitting in our store and have not been selling. That's a cash flow? No. How corny is that? Pretty corny? Let's try it again. That's a cash flow? No. Perfect, right? Because now your money is just sitting there. And typically you're just going to keep adding inventory, right? Look behind me. There's used to be just below, I think at one point we were at 9,007 listings. Now we're down to about 8,500. And that's because we're paying attention to our inventory. Let me show you. Over the last month and a half or so, we started taking down old listings and reprocessing them and figuring out if the items are still in demand. So the number one tip, or the first tip I'm going to give you if you have some listings, is to not lose track of your old listings. We're trying to get to the point where we have a turnaround of 6 months or less, and anything that's sitting for 6 months, we have to do some action with. This is going to take us quite some time. It probably will take us until the end of the year to get there because we have thousands of listings that are over 6 months old. Ow, that was my foot. So here you can see this giant gap right here on the bottom shelf. And there's some more gaps. I know it's a little bit dark in here. There's some more gapping here. And so what we've been doing at least twice a week is we've been taking down our old listings and simply reprocessing them. We believe that there's always a reason why something is not selling. And as soon as you figure out the reason of why something is not selling, then you can make more money and increase your cash flow. If you ignore all of your old listings that are just sitting there, not making you any money, you have a problem. Let's go over to the computer so I can show you the last 50 listings that we took down and talk a little bit about the common mistakes that we've made in these listings and why they didn't sell. Here are the 50 that I selected to take down. So I'm just doing this in bulk. It's pretty straightforward. So the first mistake I see here with these TK axles, they're just overpriced. This Athleta piece right here, we're using a image that we don't own, which is not allowed technically. So that's a mistake. Also most likely overpriced. There's some decent stuff in here and really good brands, but I think mostly it's about pricing. You know, $28 or $29 for this brand. Probably doesn't sell at that rate. Lululemon running shorts, $50, probably like $30 over. There's some stuff on here that's, I think, is finely priced too, like these Carhartts maybe were like $3 above market. This were probably $10 above. This is about $10 above market. So most of the time, from what I'm seeing, it's not really the titles or the photo quality. The photo quality can always improve, but most of the time it's just the pricing. And some of these things are priced just fine too, though. Like these Carhartts at $15, maybe they should be around $12. Let's check Terapeak for Carhartt casual button short sleeve shirts. For Carhartt short sleeve button shirts, last 30 days, condition filters used. Looks like the average sold price is $13.50, with 11% being free shipping and average shipping cost at $6.92. So we're not too far off, but there's a reason why ours did not sell, and maybe just because the item became stale. Because you can see that there's over 5,800 units that sold, over 3,400 sellers sold them, and ours are just not included here. Looks like there's a couple that sold a bit high, but most of them are right around that average of $13. So we may just reprice these at $12.50 or $12.95. And the last ones here, I mean, you can just see, you know, $10 plus $2 shipping, $11 plus $5 shipping, $9, $12 free shipping. This is a lot of two, so I'm not going to include that in this research. $12.80 plus $6 shipping, $13, $15. So we're not too far off for sure, but I think we can lower our price slightly. So this is Terapeak, pretty straightforward tool available to people who use eBay. Tip number 2, the sell-through rate is something in demand. The sell-through rate is just a simple formula. As you can see right here, I've displayed it for you so nicely so you can take a look at the equation. It's a pretty straightforward formula where you're learning if the type of item, regardless of the category, is actually in demand. And the higher the sell-through rate is, it just simply means that it's going to probably sell a little bit faster. If the sell-through rate is lower, it's going to probably sell a little bit slower. The higher the sell-through rate is, the better off you are. If you are a single operation, you go and handpick every single item that comes to you, you probably want to find a very strategic point where you say, hey, if the sell-through rate is not 40% or 50% or even 60% or higher, I'm not touching it, because I want things that sell fast and I want things to sell for a lot of money. If you're turning this into a full-time business, you need a decent amount of inventory. Maybe you lessen that percentage down to 30% or 20%, somewhere along there. If you're looking up items that have a 10% or 15% sell-through rate, don't pick it up. It's not going to sell, even if you get it for free. I've coached about 25 people, and this is a very common misconception. And the misconception is that, well, I got all this inventory for free, so I listed it on eBay, and now I'm not making any sales. That's because it's not in demand. If things are not in demand, no one wants to buy it. So you have to either price ridiculously low, where it's not worth your time, where you can make more money delivering pizza, rather than just don't list it or bulk it up, put $10 on it and move the crap out and replace it with inventory that's in demand. Number 3, pricing. I know it's obvious, right? But if you're not competitively pricing your items, they're not going to sell. And this has to do with sell-through rate. If items are in high demand, you can ask a higher price. If there's a vintage from the 2000s ghost detector, I think it's an actual device, I think Sony makes them. And if you find one of them, you can sell them for about $2,000, $1,500 to $2,500. I've seen them before. Now, if you find one of those and there's 0 listed and you see that there's a history on either WorthPoint or on eBay itself, then you can price it high knowing that this item is very much in demand for whatever reason. Now, if you have a pair of Levi 501s, which typically sell for about $12 to $15 plus shipping, you should be very competitive with your pricing. Otherwise, it's not going to sell. No one cares what you think the item is worth. Nobody cares. The only thing that matters is what the market decides that item is worth, and that market can fluctuate greatly if you're in categories like vintage or collectors categories or electronics, for example, because things go up and down. A little while ago, there was that famous chess movie or series on Netflix. I don't know what it's called. You guys can tell me in the comments below if you'd like. But that chess game, because of that popularity of that series, chess boards and chess pieces and chess videos and chess everything was in high demand. So the market ticked up. So if you didn't adjust to that market, you were losing money. And then after that phase of, I want to play chess, went away, like it is now in 2023, nobody cares, or at least a small percentage of people actually play chess. Now that stuff is Another example, bread makers during the pandemic. For whatever reason, people really wanted the most nutrient-dense food available, which is bread. Because of the pandemic, they were like, I need this, I really need it. So we ended up selling like 31 bread makers in a couple of months for ridiculous prices. Things that were worth $5 prior to the pandemic, now we're selling for $80. Things that were worth, or bread machines that were worth $50, we're selling for $2.50 now because the demand was so high. So make sure that you're pricing appropriately and making adjustments on items that may either lose demand or gain demand for whatever outside reason that exists. Pandemic, chess game examples. Number 4, shipping cost. Shipping cost, pretty straightforward. The better shipping costs you can offer to your customers, the more likely your customers will buy your items instead of your competitors' items. If you are shipping smaller stuff, utilize things like the priority mail flat rate or the priority mail legal envelope as shipping options. We've experienced with all of the types of shipping methods or shipping pricings that you can. There's really 3 of them. Free shipping, calculated shipping, flat rate shipping. And we believe that flat rate shipping is probably the best because the customer then knows exactly how much they're going to be paying for shipping. If your operation is large enough, you can also offer free shipping. Calculated shipping is the worst when it comes to bulkier, heavier items, just because if you are on the East Coast and your customer is on the West Coast and the item weighs 22 pounds and is packaged in a 30 by 38 by 12 box, something large like a television or something large, I don't know, a beer sign or something like that, that's going to cost them like $140 to ship across the country. If you offer a flat rate shipping on that, let's say $50, your customer is more likely to pay for that. Now, you must study the regions and the costs so that you can appropriately assign the right value for that flat rate shipping. With shoes and clothes, it's really simple for us. Most items that we sell can fit on a padded flat rate, $8.95 for shipping, and we make like 60 cents or 30 cents, whatever the math is, because we get a slight discount on that. But our customer knows when they buy from us, that's what they're going to be paying in shipping, and we pocket the 30-cent difference or so. Now, if I were to sell that same item with calculated shipping, and we are in Michigan, someone in California bought it, it will be about $17 for a 2-pound item. So I'm saving the customer money, and at the same time, it works for us. The last tip I'm going to share in this video is your return policy. For God's sake, allow returns. I don't understand the stubbornness of eBay sellers that have been selling either recently or for years, not allowing returns. Why would you not allow returns? It makes no sense to us. You're telling me that somebody that doesn't know you, doesn't know your business, doesn't know anything about your business, doesn't know about your cleanliness, doesn't know about your practices, that they're just going to blindly trust you and not be able to return something? That's ridiculous. Here's an example of an item. These are fancy basketball shoes. I think they're, who cares? Doesn't matter. But see the color on here is kind of wild, right? There's a bunch of colors on here, and it may actually look slightly different in color to you than it does to me, because I'm sharing the color through electronics, right? Through a camera. And depending on your screen and depending on my resolution and quality of camera, that might come out a totally different color. And now if I buy that and I think it looks purple, but it actually is pink in person, you're telling me I can't return it? Why would I ever do business with you? Our opportunity is to establish trust with our customers. The trust with our customers, in part, is established by selling them the exact item that you're advertising, doing the best you can to describe it, market it fairly, make sure that the shipping costs are not too high, and allow returns, because That'll gain trust. Now you say, well, returns cost money. Why would I ever do that? People are just going to try stuff and they're going to return it. Of the close to 19,000 items that we've sold, we've had less than 5 people buy something, use it, and then return it. Less than 5. That's not a percentage point. So that theory, I would say, out the window, especially in clothes and shoes. Well, what if I get scammed? It's going to happen regardless of if you allow returns or don't allow returns. Don't let that be a barrier. Who's going to pay for returns? What's up to you? You can allow free returns or you can charge them for returns. Charge them for returns. It doesn't matter because you want to give them that flexibility. When's the last time you went shopping in any major business and they're like, but you can't return that? Why would you ever shop with them? And that's the one that I've not understood in almost 4 years of reselling, that people still don't allow returns. It's mind-boggling to me. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. If you need a great modern way to track all of your sales and inventory, please go and download Flipped. It's an app available for Android and Apple that's only $9.99 a month, and you get a free 7-day trial. You can cancel anytime if you do not find it valuable, but it's great because it doesn't require cell service, it doesn't require Wi-Fi, and when you're out garage sailing, you can document all of your purchases right away, and you can mark the date, the time, the location where you got it, so you can track your items. You don't lose track later when you go to list it and say, did I pay 20 or did I pay 12 for that item? You can also track all of your sales as they happen. We're working on tons and tons of feature, and we're constantly updating the app. Go download it, Flipped, search in your Android and Apple store, FLIPPD, Flipped, made by resellers for resellers. If I missed any of the major tips and you guys wanted to share so that others can learn from this video, please put it down in the comments below so we can all share our wins and our winning ways with each other. Subscribe to our channel. We've made over 200 videos all related to reselling. You can learn a ton of stuff for free. You don't have to join any group or pay any money. It's all for free. And in return, we just ask that you subscribe to the channel, tap the like button, leave us a comment from time to time. Thank you very much for watching. On behalf of myself and my beautiful wife, Melinda, we're Hustlin' Hooks, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.